What if one of the world's most luxurious desserts wasn't just a social media sensation, but also contained ingredients linked to heart health, brain function, healthy aging, and long-lasting energy? Sounds impossible, right? After all, when most people hear the word dessert, they think of sugar, calories, and guilty pleasures. But what if the story isn't that simple? Over the last few years, one sweet creation from Dubai has exploded across social media. Millions of people have watched videos of its crunchy texture, its rich chocolate shell, and its famous pistachio-filled center. Some people waited hours just to buy it.
Others paid premium prices just to experience a single bite. But here's the question almost nobody is asking. Could the ingredients inside this famous dessert actually offer surprising nutritional advantages when enjoyed the right way? And why are nutrition experts increasingly interested in some of its key components? The answer may surprise you. Because hidden beneath layers of chocolate, pistachios, and delicate pastry is a fascinating story that stretches across centuries of culture, tradition, and modern nutrition science. And before this video ends, you'll discover why one ingredient inside this dessert is often called a green gold superfood.
Why another ingredient has been studied for its connection to brain health. And why the biggest mistake people make when eating desserts may have nothing to do with sugar at all. Stay with us, because the final lesson could completely change how you think about indulgence and health. Today, we're exploring the fascinating world of the Dubai chocolate dessert. A dessert that became famous almost overnight. A dessert that captured global attention. And, surprisingly, a dessert built around ingredients that have been valued for generations. Now, let's be clear. This isn't a magic food. It isn't a miracle cure. And eating unlimited amounts won't suddenly transform your health.
But when we look closely at the ingredients that make this dessert special, the story becomes far more interesting. Because health isn't only about restriction, it's also about understanding. Understanding what we eat, understanding balance, and understanding that sometimes even luxury foods contain ingredients with remarkable nutritional histories. So let's begin where every great story begins, at the very start. Long before Dubai became famous for futuristic skyscrapers and luxury shopping, the Middle East was already known for something else: extraordinary desserts. For thousands of years, cultures throughout the region celebrated hospitality through food. Guests weren't simply welcomed, they were honored. And sweet treats often played a central role. Among the most treasured ingredients, pistachios, often referred to as alayhi salam, green gold. These vibrant nuts have been cultivated for thousands of years. Ancient civilizations prized them not only for their taste, but for their rarity and nutritional value.
Even royalty reportedly enjoyed pistachios, symbols of wealth and abundance. Then came chocolate. Originally consumed by ancient civilizations in Central America, chocolate eventually became one of the most beloved foods on Earth. But what happens when rich chocolate meets premium pistachios, combined with delicate, crispy pastry? You get something unforgettable. And that's exactly why Dubai chocolate dessert became a global phenomenon. Yet beyond the visual appeal, something else makes this dessert fascinating. Its ingredients each carry their own nutritional story.
And one of those stories begins inside your heart. Imagine two people eating the exact same number of calories. One chooses highly processed snacks. The other occasionally enjoys foods containing nutrient-dense ingredients like pistachios. Could there be a difference? Research suggests there might be. Pistachios naturally contain healthy fats, not the type many people fear, but unsaturated fats that nutrition experts often associate with heart-friendly eating patterns. They also contain plant compounds and antioxidants. These compounds help protect cells from oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress like rust forming inside the body over time.
The more protection your cells receive, the better they may function alayhi salam you age. That's one reason pistachios continue to attract attention from researchers interested in cardiovascular wellness. And here's something fascinating. Pistachios are one of the few nuts that naturally provide meaningful amounts of potassium, a mineral many Americans don't get enough of. Potassium helps support healthy blood pressure balance, which is crucial for long-term heart health. But the surprises don't stop there, because what helps the heart often helps another organ too, your brain.
Have you ever experienced brain fog? That frustrating feeling when your thoughts seem slower, your concentration weaker, and your mental energy lower. You're not alone. Millions of adults experience it regularly. Now here's where things get interesting. Several nutrients found in pistachios and dark chocolate are being studied for their potential role in supporting healthy brain function. Dark chocolate contains naturally occurring compounds called flavonoids. These compounds have attracted attention because they may support healthy blood flow, including blood flow to the brain. And when blood flow improves, the brain receives oxygen and nutrients more efficiently.
Some studies suggest this may support focus, attention, and cognitive performance. Meanwhile, pistachios contain vitamin B6, a nutrient involved in neurotransmitter production. Neurotransmitters are essentially the body's messaging system. They help brain cells communicate with one another. Without efficient communication, mental performance can suffer. Now imagine combining sensory pleasure with ingredients that contain nutrients linked to brain support. Suddenly, this famous dessert becomes more than just a trend. It becomes part of a much bigger conversation. A conversation about enjoying food while appreciating what it brings to the table nutritionally. But if you think that's impressive, wait until you hear what some researchers say about these ingredients and healthy aging. Because the next section may be the most surprising yet. What if aging wasn't only about the number of birthdays you've celebrated, but also about what happens inside your cells every single day? Scientists often describe aging as a gradual accumulation of damage. Tiny stresses, tiny injuries, tiny changes that build up year after year. One of the biggest contributors? Oxidative stress. Think of it like leaving a beautiful car outside for decades. Little by little, exposure takes its toll. The human body experiences something similar.
And this is where antioxidants enter the story. Both pistachios and cocoa naturally contain antioxidant compounds. These compounds help neutralize unstable molecules called free radicals. Free radicals are created through normal life processes. They're also influenced by pollution, poor diet, lack of sleep, and chronic stress. Now here's something fascinating. Dark chocolate contains polyphenols. Pistachios contain carotenoids and other plant compounds. Together, these ingredients create a nutritional profile that researchers continue to study in relation to healthy aging. Does this mean eating Dubai chocolate dessert will stop aging? Of course not. Nothing can do that.
But it does remind us of something important. Sometimes the most powerful health habits aren't extreme. They're built around balance. And balance may be one of the greatest longevity strategies of all.
But here's something most people never realize. One ingredient inside this famous dessert may also have an unexpected connection to your digestive system. And your gut may influence far more than you think, including mood, energy, and even immunity. Let's explore why. For decades, people viewed digestion as something simple. Eat food, digest food, move on. Today, science paints a much bigger picture. Researchers now refer to the gut as one of the body's most influential systems. Your digestive tract houses trillions of microorganisms. Together, they form what's known as the gut microbiome.
And this ecosystem affects far more than digestion.
It influences metabolism, immune function, and even mood. Now consider pistachios. These nuts naturally contain dietary fiber. Fiber acts as nourishment for beneficial gut bacteria. When these bacteria thrive, your digestive environment may function more efficiently. Many Americans struggle to consume enough fiber daily, which makes fiber-rich foods especially valuable. And while Dubai chocolate dessert isn't a fiber supplement, its pistachio content contributes something many processed sweets completely lack: nutritional substance. That's one reason this dessert feels different from many modern treats. Its ingredients have roots in real food traditions. And speaking of feeling different, let's talk about energy. Because the next benefit may explain why some people feel surprisingly satisfied after eating a small portion. Have you ever eaten something sweet, only to feel hungry again an hour later? That roller coaster is familiar to millions. A rapid rise in energy, followed by an equally rapid crash. But foods containing healthy fats and protein often behave differently. Pistachios naturally provide both. Healthy fats digest more slowly than simple sugars. Protein contributes to satiety. Together, they help create a more gradual eating experience,
instead of an immediate spike followed by a dramatic drop. Now, every recipe is different, every serving size is different, and every individual responds differently. But one reason people often describe Dubai chocolate dessert alayhis salam rich or satisfying may be because its ingredients encourage slower enjoyment, and that slower experience can naturally support portion awareness. Which leads us to another surprising topic: weight management.
Here's one of the biggest misconceptions in nutrition. Many people believe successful weight management requires eliminating every favorite food. But research increasingly suggests sustainability matters. Because the best eating plan isn't the strictest one, it's the one people can maintain for years. Interestingly, foods that deliver strong flavor and satisfaction often encourage mindful eating. Think about the difference between eating a premium dessert slowly versus absent-mindedly finishing an entire bag of ultra-processed snacks. One experience is intentional, the other is automatic. Dubai chocolate dessert is often enjoyed in small portions, partly because it's rich, partly because it's luxurious, and partly because a little goes a long way. That's an important lesson. Health isn't always about eating less. Sometimes it's about appreciating more flavor, more quality, more awareness. And that awareness may be one of the most underrated wellness habits of all. Now let's talk about something everyone cares about: resilience. The ability to stay strong, stay active, and support overall wellness throughout the year. Your immune system relies on countless nutrients working together. No single food controls immunity, but nutrient-rich ingredients can contribute to the bigger picture. Pistachios contain vitamin B6.
They also provide minerals involved in normal immune function. Meanwhile, cocoa contributes additional plant compounds that researchers continue to investigate. The key takeaway? Strong health isn't built from one miracle ingredient. It's built from consistent choices. Day after day, meal after meal, habit after habit. And in a world filled with highly processed foods, there's something refreshing about a dessert built around ingredients with centuries of nutritional history. But we're only halfway through this story. Because next, we'll uncover some of the biggest myths surrounding Dubai chocolate dessert.
Including one myth that causes many people to completely misunderstand whether a food is truly healthy or not. And the answer might surprise you.
By now, you might be wondering, is Dubai chocolate dessert actually healthier than people think? Or is that just clever marketing? The truth lies somewhere in the middle, and that's exactly why the next few minutes matter. Because some of the most common beliefs people have about desserts are simply not true. Let's separate myth from reality and uncover what nutrition experts wish more people understood. Imagine walking into a grocery store. On one shelf sits a highly processed snack loaded with artificial ingredients. On another sits a dessert made with real pistachios, cocoa, and traditional pastry. Both are desserts. But are they nutritionally identical? Not even close.
One of the biggest nutrition myths is that all desserts belong in the same category. In reality, ingredients matter. Quality matters. Composition matters. A dessert containing nuts provides a very different nutritional experience compared to one composed almost entirely of refined sugars. That doesn't mean one becomes a health food, but it does mean context matters. And context is often missing from nutrition conversations online. For years, chocolate has carried a confusing reputation. Some people treat it like a guilty secret. Others describe it as a superfood. The reality? Neither extreme tells the whole story. Chocolate begins as cocoa, and cocoa naturally contains plant compounds called flavonoids. Researchers have studied these compounds for their potential role in supporting circulation and overall wellness. The key difference often comes down to processing. The more heavily processed a product becomes, the more its nutritional profile can change. That's why many nutrition professionals focus on the overall quality of ingredients rather than simple labels. And here's something surprising. Chocolate has been enjoyed by human civilizations for centuries, long before modern candy aisles existed. Which raises an interesting question. Could some traditional foods have more to teach us than we realize?
When most people think about skincare, they think about creams, serums, lotions. But healthy skin begins much deeper. It begins from within. Your skin is constantly exposed to environmental stress, sunlight, pollution, daily wear and tear. And while no dessert can replace a good skincare routine, the nutrients found in pistachios and cocoa contribute to overall nutritional support. Antioxidants help defend cells against oxidative stress. Healthy fats help support skin structure. Minerals play roles throughout countless biological processes. Many people spend hundreds of dollars searching for the perfect beauty product.
Yet sometimes the conversation should begin with something simpler. Nutrition, hydration, sleep, and long-term healthy habits. Because true radiance is often a reflection of overall wellness. Let's talk about something rarely discussed in nutrition: joy. Food isn't only fuel. It's also culture, connection, celebration, memory. Think about your favorite meal from childhood. The memory probably isn't just about the food. It's about the people, the atmosphere, the experience. This matters because emotional well-being plays a role in overall health. Shared meals strengthen social connections. Positive experiences reduce stress. And enjoying food mindfully can contribute to a healthier relationship with eating. Sometimes wellness isn't found in restriction. Sometimes it's found in balance. The ability to enjoy life's pleasures without excess, without guilt, and with gratitude. Sleep may be the most underrated health tool in existence. While no dessert should be considered a sleep aid, some ingredients contain nutrients involved in the body's natural processes. Pistachios provide vitamin B6. They also contain minerals that participate in numerous biological functions. Good sleep depends on countless factors.
stress management, light exposure, physical activity, healthy eating patterns.
And while one food alone won't transform sleep quality, every positive habit contributes to the bigger picture.
Perhaps the biggest lesson hidden inside Dubai chocolate dessert has nothing to do with dessert at all. It's about balance. Modern nutrition conversations often swing between extremes. Everything is good, or everything is bad. But real life doesn't work that way. A sustainable lifestyle allows room for enjoyment, room for celebration, room for foods that nourish both body and spirit. The healthiest people in the world often follow patterns rather than perfection. They focus on overall dietary habits, not individual meals, not occasional treats, and certainly not fear. Because health built on fear rarely lasts. Health built on understanding often does.
But the most fascinating part of this story is still ahead. Because next we're going to explore real-world stories. People who changed how they approached food, how they learned the power of moderation, and why one simple mindset shift transformed their relationship with health forever. Up to this point, we've explored ingredients, nutrition, science, and fascinating facts. But sometimes the most powerful lessons don't come from studies. They come from real life. Because health is never just about nutrients. It's about habits, choices, and the stories we tell ourselves every day. Let's meet a few people whose experiences reveal something surprisingly important. Imagine a retired teacher named Susan. For years, she believed healthy living meant constantly saying no. No desserts, no treats, no celebrations, no exceptions. At first, she felt disciplined, but over time, something happened. The restrictions became exhausting. Whenever she broke the rules, she felt guilty, and guilt slowly replaced enjoyment. Then she made a simple change. Instead of banning desserts completely, she focused on quality. Smaller portions, better ingredients, more mindful eating. The result? Food became enjoyable again. Her eating habits became more sustainable. And for the first time in years, she felt free. Not because she ate more dessert, but because she stopped fighting food. That's a lesson many people need to hear. Long-term wellness often requires flexibility, not perfection.
Now imagine Michael, a busy executive working long hours. He constantly jumped between extremes, strict dieting one month, overindulging the next, then repeating the cycle again and again. Eventually, he realized something important. The problem wasn't food. The problem was inconsistency. So he stopped chasing perfection. Instead, he focused on balance. More whole foods, regular movement, better sleep, and occasional treats enjoyed intentionally. The result wasn't dramatic overnight, but it was sustainable, and sustainability is often where true success begins. Now let's discuss the biggest mistake people make with desserts, and surprisingly, it isn't sugar.
It isn't calories. It isn't chocolate. It's unconscious eating. Eating while distracted. Eating while scrolling. Eating without awareness. When people aren't present, they often consume far more than they intended. And they enjoy it far less. Mindful eating changes everything. Notice the aroma. Notice the texture. Notice the flavor. Notice how satisfied you feel. This simple practice often transforms the entire experience. Because enjoyment doesn't necessarily come from quantity. It often comes from attention. One question people frequently ask is, when is the best time to enjoy a dessert like this? The answer may depend on your lifestyle.
Many people enjoy desserts after a balanced meal. Why? Because combining treats with a meal may help create a more gradual eating experience compared to consuming sweets on an empty stomach. Others prefer sharing dessert during social occasions, celebrations, family dinners, special moments. And perhaps that's one of the most meaningful ways to enjoy it.
not alone, but together. Because some foods are designed to create memories, not just satisfy hunger.
Want to elevate the experience even further? Consider pairing Dubai chocolate dessert with fresh berries, unsweetened tea, quality coffee, or a balanced meal rich in whole foods. These combinations can create a more satisfying overall experience, and they remind us that nutrition is rarely about individual foods. It's about patterns, everything working together. As we approach the end of our journey, let's focus on practical takeaways, simple habits that can make a meaningful difference. Number 1, prioritize whole foods most of the time. Number 2, stay physically active every day. Number 3, protect your sleep. Number 4, stay hydrated. Number 5, reduce unnecessary stress whenever possible. And finally, learn to enjoy life's pleasures in moderation. Because health isn't only about adding years to life. It's also about adding life to years. At the beginning of this video, we asked a simple question. Could a famous dessert teach us something meaningful about health? The answer, surprisingly, is yes. Not because it contains magical ingredients, not because it's a miracle food, but because it reminds us of something many people have forgotten. Health isn't built through fear. It's built through wisdom, through consistency, through balance, through appreciation. The goal isn't to create a life with no treats,
no celebrations, no joy. The goal is to create a life where wellness and enjoyment can coexist, a life where nourishment and pleasure aren't enemies, but partners. Because at the end of the day, the healthiest life is not necessarily the strictest one. It's the one you can genuinely enjoy living. If you enjoyed this journey into the fascinating world of Dubai chocolate dessert, take a moment to like this video and subscribe for more health, longevity, nutrition, and wellness stories. And before you go, tell us in the comments, have you ever tried Dubai chocolate dessert? And if so, what surprised you most about it? Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay healthy. And remember, sometimes the sweetest lessons in life aren't found in avoiding pleasure, but in learning how to enjoy it wisely. See you in the next video.